Hello everybody. Yeah, we are on a video craze and hitting another topic. So this is like a little bit of a series, I guess you can say, of hey, CIG, notice me, I'm trying to help you. I just want you to listen to my thoughts because I think they are pretty good. I mean, I'm not trying to toot my own horn or anything, but I am biased with my own self. But no, but frankly, I not to like get into it, I do have a degree in computer science and I majored in game software development. I can't say that I'm some of those people that claim I've made this game and I've been on AAA teams. No, but I have run a business, so I kind of know ideas at a good standpoint to provide my ideas. I'm not saying you should take them. I'm just saying maybe listen to them and incorporate them with how you're running things, because as you might have seen in my previous video, some of the content creators that you kind of listen to are not the best people. And I'm telling you that because I also know those people. I've been a part of their team, and yeah, you might want to stop listening to some of them. You might actually want to stop benefiting them. They're not really doing you any good long term. Might look good now, but long term, be careful with who you associate with. Just, that's my opinion. And that's my disclaimer right off the bat. All the stuff you're about to hear is my opinion. If you don't like it, you don't like it. I mean, that's life. You can voice your opinion down below, and hey, I will admit if I'm wrong. I mean, that's life. I think you become better by discussions, and sometimes you have a good opinion, and sometimes you don't. So let's have an open discussion, healthy, and let's keep it clean. So, with that being said, if you haven't subscribed already, please hit the subscribe button. If you haven't already as well, hit like if you do like it, and comment with what you think. So here we go. This is about hand-holding, CIG. I am tired of you guys hand-holding for everything we do in the universe. It's kind of... This is supposed to be an MMO, but it's also a simulation MMO. And with that being said, there shouldn't be really too much hand-holding. We should be able to have a way of dire consequences for our actions. Right now, we don't have that. And again, just like I said in my previous video, you're probably like, Samir, why? It's just an alpha. It's going to have, changes are coming. Again, changes need to happen now. They need to be implemented now, or at least discussed now, so that the community is well aware of what's coming. Otherwise, when the community gets slapped with something quickly without discussion of it, or even if they do discuss it, community goes into an uproar. And the main point of this video is CIG, do not fall on your words. Stick to your guns. It's going to piss somebody off. That's inevitable. You can't please everybody. But I remember what you said your core game was going to be, and I want you guys to stick to what your core game was going to be. Otherwise, it makes everything else look like a lie. And again, I know there's been changes, this, that, I get it. The hand-holding, if you remove it, it actually adds more life to your game. And here's why. So currently, I could boost, and I have an indicator of when I'm going to run out of boost, and I recharge. Fastest way to recharge it, throw your power triangle to boost, and watch how fast it recharges. Instead of being like a second for every recharge, I think it's like a double every second you're getting recharged back to 100. Cool. I like that idea with the power triangle. How about I one-up you? How about you let me boost unlimited at the cost of blowing my ship up? Or not really blowing my ship up, at the cost of damaging my power plant or my engines or something else. Why does that add more life to the game? It adds more use for your CRV that you just introduced to the game. Really, the only way the CRV right now is useful is if a ship soft deaths, gets stuck upside down, or something like that. I mean, yeah, you could blow your engine or something like that, but that's usually in a dogfight. There is no consequences like typically when you're out and about. I remember you guys did explain that with time passing, there's going to be aging on the ship. So eventually an engine will blow, a power plant or something, if you don't get a new one, is going to eventually deteriorate and, just not work and not function. So yeah, the SRV is going to have some use. But stop with the hand-holding. Don't give me my indicator for boosting should be the system warning me that I'm overheating. I should stop doing what I'm doing then. I shouldn't really have a little thing. I mean, how does that little bar indicate that I get this much boost? I mean, if it was like nitrous gas in a turbo car, like charged like a nitro car, cool, I have a gauge indicator because it's a gas. So are you saying that the power plant gives me only this much to boost, but what's it doing to the power plant? Is that like a safety mechanism? If it's a safety mechanism, then I should have an option to turn the safety mechanism off. I should be able to boost indefinitely at the cost of hurting my power plant, hurting my cooling, hurting my engines, hurting any component in the ship that relays to the boosts. And that's what I'm trying to get at. Take away that. Take away for energy weapons, take away my ammo count. Let me shoot indefinitely. Let me be able to damage my components. I want to be able to do what I want to do. I don't want the hand holding. Sure, if you want to keep the hand holding off for players that, you know, can't manage that system, completely get it. You could please both sides. And there's consequences. The one who turns it off is going to be able to shoot longer and boost longer, but if they don't know how to maintain, they're going to essentially be a sitting duck and lose the battle, or lose an engine and gonna have to call for resources and get some help. Whereas a player who has it on, well, they're gonna benefit all day long of not actually hurting their ship too much or hurting themselves in the long run. So there's pros and cons to both, and that's awesome. You do away with the hand holding and you please both sides without actually hurting anybody. So it's a win-win. And that's what I think you guys should add. I think that should be incorporated to add a system. Personally, I think you should just do away with the hand holding. I don't think that should be like an option. I think that's just how you should make your game. But if you want to please both sides, you have a pros and a cons. Turn it off. Cool. You can shoot longer and have more, you know, do what you need to do and boost as long as you want. But pay attention to your system when you got warning lights going off. You can overclock, you can overcharge, whatever. Again, that's, you know, we have the stopwatch in the game. That should be an indicator. It's almost like, Captain, or Engineer, I need you to give me this much boost. And the Engineer responds to the Captain, you got 10 seconds to do whatever you need to do. Quick. Start that clock. Boom, you're watching the clock, you're doing what you have to do, you're boosting like crazy, you're shooting like crazy, you're doing everything like crazy, you're getting close, 7, 8, 9, you're like, okay, we didn't win, let's haul ass out. You know, it makes use for the stopwatch, it makes use for a lot of things, it makes use for your engineer, it makes use for your strategic gameplay. The hand holding taken away for that player is going to be so much more meaningful for them. I mean, it's going to add a whole new element of fun. And I'm not saying the game is not fun now. No, it's perfect. I love it. I absolutely love your game in its current state. I'm trying to add more fun to it, to those, I don't want to necessarily say hardcore players, but those players that want more in their game to meaningful. You know, to me, it feels more meaningful. And that's it. I mean, like, I see the boost having issues. I see weapons having issues. There was something else that I know that was hand-holding me, and it was bothering me one day, and I cannot remember it for the life of me. And it's sad because there's just, like, certain aspects within the game that it does little things to prevent you from doing something. And I think those key features there just should be one option that turns them all off. Like, safety. Like, turn off my safety. Let me do what I want to do with my ship. If I have to buy a new component because I blew it, you know? And it makes more meaningful changes to components besides, oh, this quantum travel gets me to that destination a little bit faster. You know, power plants, it gives me more power so I can pew-pew a little bit longer, but I think, you know, if you change that way of thought, instead of, like, giving me an ammo count for my energy weapon, let me just shoot indefinitely at the cost of blowing that. It also gives the engineer a cool new tactic. Hey, I'm going to shoot like crazy. You might want to cool that bad boy off. So maybe use the fire extinguisher and aim it and get ready for a fire to break out. But I'm going to win this fight because I am going to hold this damn trigger. I don't know. Again, that's just a scenario playing in my head. But with that, guys, that's my thought. I think the hand-holding needs to stop. I I wish atmosphere can come back. I wish longer quantum travels can come back, because again, I think it's going to be meaningful when you're in quantum travel if you just got out of a bad fight to repair, to extinguish fires, to do things while you're in travel, to kind of strategize. Because you could say, currently, you could say, oh, well, I can just bust out a quantum and I'm safe. Nobody's going to find me. Eventually, that's not going to be the case. When they're on the hunt, and if they got your signature, they're going to be able to find you, and they're going to keep tabs on you. But if you can stay in quantum long enough to fix things, by the time you reach your destination, even if they had an ambush ready to go, you kind of have a better chance of survival. And that's just my opinion. I'm maybe thinking a little too far in the future, but I always say personally, get it in now before and get things out in the open now, or remind people, because man, when Death of the Spaceman comes in, that's going to be a shock to a lot of people. They're not going to just be able to blow their ship up. They're not going to be able to just, suicide to restart and get their stuff back and this and that, because that's essentially, there's no consequence. Again, the game has no consequences right now, so you can do whatever you please, and it's whatever. We're testing the universe to make sure it's stable, but right now there's no consequence, so I can't wait to see a consequence, and I think that's what's going to change the game. Well, guys, that's my opinions. Tell me what you think down below, and I will catch you on the next.